Boku Dake Inai Machi, or Erased, is an anime adaptation from a manga with the same name written and illustrated by Kei Sanbei. At the moment, the adaptation is the most popular TV anime show of 2016, but even as a manga, the series has quite the success. It was nominated for the 7th, 8th, and 9th Manga Taisho Award, competing with other popular manga series such as One Punch Man, Ajin, Sakamoto Desuka, Boku no Hero Academia, Koi no Katachi, and The Bride Stories, among others, where it ranked 2nd, 4th, and 4th again, respectively. The series was also nominated for the 18th Tezuka Osamu Cultural Prize Reader Award. The Kona Manga ga Sugoi list in the male readers category from 2014 to 2016, where it ranked 16th, 9th, and 10th respectively, and it is currently nominated in the general manga category for the 40th annual Kodansha Manga Awards. A spin-off novel titled Boku Dake Inai Machi, Another Record, written by Hajime Nino Mae, was serialized in Kadokawa's monthly digital novel magazine Bunge Kadokawa from November 2015 to March 2016, and it elaborates of the killer's motivations. A volume containing the chapters was released on March 30th, 2016. A live-action film adaptation of the manga debuted in cinemas throughout Japan on March 19th this year, placing 2nd in the Japanese theater's box office in its release week. The movie features Tatsuya Fujiwara as Satoru Fujinuma. Fujiwara is quite known for playing in manga adaptations, previous characters including Light Yagami, Kaiji, and Makoto Shishio. Director Ito Tomohiko stated in an interview that he came in contact with the manga through an assistant at A1 Pictures, around the time the 2nd volume was published. After he read it, he thought it was great and wanted to see it animated, if possible even to direct the anime. He set out to convince Aniplex and Kadokawa behind the scenes, and that's how the anime was greenlit. Another main reason Ito wanted to do this show was because of the feelings of nostalgia it gave him, being born in the same year as Satoru. He hoped that viewers who watch the show will be reminded of their childhoods, and thus will reach out to connect more with their parents and childhood friends. When the anime was proposed to the manga author, his reaction was, "You're doing this?" thinking that people who like watching anime may not enjoy it. Some fans of the series were disappointed by the identity of the main antagonist and the overall easiness of the mystery. Writer Kei Sanbei and director Ito Tomohiko described the story as a human drama, with the appearance of a suspense thriller, so we can assume that their focus was never really on the mystery. For the TV show, Ito wanted to direct their base as if it was a Western drama, borrowing inspiration from Western late-night drama shows and Hollywood. Quote, "We wanted to make it feel like Northern European places like Scandinavia or London. That's the look we were aiming for." This is just my opinion, but as proof that the mystery was not all that important, if you paid attention to the opening, which was storyboarded by Ito himself, and paused at the right time, you could have seen the killer reflected in Satoru's broken glasses. The answer was in plain sight all along. During the production, they were afraid that if the pacing was too slow, it might become boring, and you can tell there was a lot of effort put into it to make sure things remained interesting. For example, the production team decided to not simply reuse scenes and flashbacks. Instead, they used the Japanese writing of the word revival, which is replay, as inspiration. They decided to go with the film reels as a metaphor, thinking that's how Satoru must see revivals, and used it to give the show a much more distinct atmosphere and unique visuals. They also played with the format of the show. All moments taking place in the present are presented in full screen 1:66:1 aspect ratio, while all scenes set in the past or Satoru's childhood are presented in cinematic widescreen 2:39:1. Another directional technique they used was the notion of characters being watched by someone else after they've passed by. The animation wasn't their only concern. In various interviews, Ito talked about the way they were using background noise to create a feeling of uneasiness, like bangs or rumbles and roars, similarly to David Fincher and other Hollywood movies. To create an even more distinct feel to the show, they hired Shinosuke Mitsushima to voice 29 years old Satoru and Tao Tsuchiya to voice 10-year-old Satoru, respectively. For both actors, this represented their first voice acting role. They usually acted in front of the camera and not a microphone. Since actors are usually so busy that they have to record at different times from the rest of the cast, one of the conditions for the role was that they would join the other voice actors, which turned out it was useful for them, especially for Tsuchiya, which had somewhat trouble voicing a young boy as her first role. Amusingly, Ito said he rejected numerous voice actors for the role of young Satoru because they sounded too shonen jumpy. Interesting choices were also made for the roles of Sachiko and Yashiro, which were not decided via auditions. The opening song, Ray Ray by Asian Kung Fu Generation, was actually first released on the album Soul Fa in 2004, along with other songs such as Rewrite, the fourth Fullmetal Alchemist opening, and Haruka Kanata, the second Naruto opening. The song was re-recorded for the show when it was released as a single in 2016. In the last episode of the show, there is some graffiti under the bridge where Satoru and Irie meets that spells out Ray Ray, which is used to commemorate the opening theme. The blue butterfly seen around Satoru before revival is activated refers to the butterfly effect, where in Chaos Theory, small alterations in the past could drastically change the future, and also to the 2004 movie with the exact same name. Other references made in the show, albeit more directly, were about Dragon Quest III, Live Man, and Ranma 1/2, which were all popular in the late 80s. Not a reference, but Takahashi has the Last Supper painting in his apartment. This alludes to his meal with Satoru before ratting him out to the police, and a live-action image of two dogs can be seen in one of the book articles that Satoru reads in the library. As everyone must have noticed, the opening for the 11th episode changed, eliminating Satoru completely from it, uncovering the eyes of the characters, and applying the changes Satoru made, like Jun Shiaratori's imprisonment. But what is more interesting is how the cinema scene at the beginning came to be. Because Satoru has two voice actors, they're placed side by side as a double credit, and Ito thought he could use this idea. Quote, "So I needed to have them in the first cut of the opening, but what kind of situation would allow for that? And then partially because of the word revival, I figured that I could have had them in movies, as if the two of them are watching Satoru's story play out on screen." And for the last fact, let's talk about Kaio. Ito said that the character of Kaio left a really large impression on him because of the strength she shows at such a young age. And even if they had a short amount of episodes and had to cut some manga chapters out, he added an extra scene to flesh out her character better. He also said in an interview that they want to make people think Kaio Hinazuki is just so cute. And then there is this. Hey everyone, thank you guys all so much for watching the video. Best Anime Tops and me, we kinda collaborated on this and it was quite a lot of fun. Now this will wrap up the video, but if you want to see more things like this, remember to please leave a like and share it to people who might enjoy it. Depending on the success of this video, we'll probably do more. Also, at the very end, I'd also like to plug my self as the audio guy. I'll be in the description below, click there if you really want to. If you don't, I don't, whatever. But again, thank you guys so much for watching this video.